Hello, beautiful people. I hope you're well today. And Donna, I just really want to say thank you for this opportunity to be able to care to share some information, which I really hope will actually help people to transition to transform, especially at the time that we're in right now, or what we've been through. Unfortunately, some people wasn't able to get through it. However, those who are here today, it's really about giving thanks for every breath that we take, literally speaking. So what I really want to do today is to share a little bit about who I am. So my name is Juliyah Brown, and I am a teacher, a trainer, a coach, a mentor. I'm also an entrepreneur and an author. So you might say, that sounds great. So what's the value of you telling me all of that? Well, the whole point is that I've created a toolkit, and it's a holistic healing, self-discovery, journey journal toolkit, where you will meet your past, your present, and your future self. How is this possible? Through a number of activities. Now, these activities is really going to help you to do a deep dive into your whole self and well-being. So for some of you listening, watching, you may not be very comfortable to actually do some of these activities, but my intention is simply this. I'm looking to help you to move forward, because what you've done to this point may be not getting you the results that you're actually looking for. So in order to get a different result means you need to make a few changes, and changes are not always comfortable. However, we need to get out of that comfort zone into the stretch zone to expand and experience new things in our lives. So what Crush to Sparkle is all about is, as I said, a number of activities. The activities let me care to share with you, if you permit me to, is the very first one I ask you to do is to look in the mirror. Now, for some of you, you'll say that's not a problem. Like, there's a mirror right behind me. Yeah, I look in the mirror and I can see myself and I'm happy. For others, it might be, I don't really want to look at myself in the mirror. I don't really see myself as feeling beautiful or worthy or acceptable. So my first exercise is really asking you this. I say, look, and then listen. Because when you're looking at yourself, whose voice are you really hearing? Is this your own voice telling you these things, positive or negatively? Or are these voices of other people, family, friends, or whoever? Whose voice are you hearing? Now, once you've done 1A, which is just to look at your face, I then want you to go to a full length mirror. And I want you to take off all of your clothes. And I want you to look at your birthday suit that you've got on, your naked body. And what do you say to the person looking back at you in the mirror? Is it the same voice that was when you was just looking at your face? Or is there a completely different voice now? And what is this or those voices saying to you? Where are those voices coming from? And do you actually believe what these voices are actually saying? Now, again, for some people, just doing those two small exercises are mammoth tasks that I've just asked them to do. And people may not even want to go there. But my key thing to let you know is that life is full of challenges, okay? And when you look at the word challenges, you take out some of those letters and it leaves the word changes. So out of your challenges, there's opportunity for you to change if you truly, really want to. Now, in the book, which I recall as my toolkit, in there, that was just exercise 1. So just to give you a little flavor of what's inside it, you may be asking, why did I even call it Crush to Sparkle? What does that mean, crush to sparkle? Well, let me ask you, if something's crushed, what does that actually mean to you? Usually it means that you're being squashed or you're pushed or you're being put down into situations or spaces and places that really is not where you want to be. So the whole point of what Crush the Sparkle is saying, that despite people who may not have always the best intentions for your health and your well-being, what it's saying is that you have beautiful diamonds inside of you. And the whole point is that even though you might feel that you're shattered, scattered, the whole point is saying, believe that you do have beautiful diamonds, and these diamonds are completely unique to you. Okay, whatever your goals and whatever your dreams are, whatever your vision and your missions are, they're coming from within. They're coming from here. So the key point, what I'm saying to you is that we all are unique individuals. We are all very important people. Okay, the red carpet might not be rolled out every time you're walking down your house, but the point is you are a very important person. There's nobody else with a genetic makeup composition like you. So you are fundamentally an amazing, phenomenal being, beautiful beyond measure. And now you might be turning away to say, who's she talking to? Because she's definitely not talking to me, because that's not how I'm feeling. So I don't know what you're taking, but I'm definitely not on that one. But my point is, putting all joke aside, the key thing is that you are an amazing individual. And in order for us to really develop ourselves even more, it's all about positive relationship. And this is why Crush the Sparkle is saying how to positively build yourself up from a broken relationship. Now you might think, I'm happy with my husband, my wife, or whoever I'm with. But I'm saying it's not necessarily a relationship just with your partner. What is the relationship you have with yourself? What is your relationship with your children? What is your relationship with your extended family, with your friends, with your work colleagues, with organizations that you interact with? So the whole point of positive relationship is looking at the whole, many different ranges of relationships you have. If they're all working at a great level, kudos to you, great job. But many people may not even have a loving relationship with themselves. They might even hate being by themselves. So they're constantly craving and chasing around people to be in the presence of somebody else because they're scared to see and be by themselves. So this is what Crush the Sparkle is all about. It's about breaking you down, building you up, break through to break free. Inside of there as well, you've got diaries for food, for sleep, for goals, for nutrition, just to name some of them. There's also motivational, inspirational quotes to uplift you from various people, both past and present, in there. But it's the activities really that's really going to be making the difference for you. Because I mentioned activity one, where you look at yourself in the face and then you look at your whole birthday suit self. But the third bit on exercise one is to take a selfie. And now some people might be like, oh, not me, I don't want that. But I'm just saying, this is about you, not about anybody else. So take that selfie. You might not say I look beautiful or brilliant at this time. That's okay. We're working with where you are now. Okay. So it's about drawing a line in the sand, because we've all made mistakes. Okay. But what I'm saying is, let's not keep living a life of regrets. Okay. So the key thing is, let's draw a line now and just say, okay, I've made some mistakes. I've been really critical and harsh with myself, but that hasn't actually given me the results I'm looking for. So maybe be a little bit more gentle, a little bit more loving. So have some QQT, which is quality, quiet time with yourself, as well as giving yourself some TLC, tender, loving care. How? By scheduling an appointment with yourself. The same way you're making appointments to meet your friend and your family, put in your diary, such and such a day, such and such a time, it's my time. And you do not cancel on yourself, okay? Because if you had an appointment with your friends, you would do your best not to cancel it. So don't let anybody override you. This is your time to just spend some quality time with you. It could be quiet meditation, soaking in the bath. Just do something that makes you feel great. This is your moment, your time. Because understand this, the person that looks back at you in the mirror has been with you from year zero to whatever age you are now. How can you not schedule a little bit of time to say thank you? Yeah. You don't know what you have until it's gone. So it's really important to keep on just saying to the body, I do love you. And you can even close your eyes and actually look inside your body. Imagine the cells in your body, the veins, the arteries, the eye sockets. Just imagine and just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You don't have to say it out loud, but it's good to say it out loud. It doesn't have to be in the presence of others, but you can say this out loud just to say, I really appreciate you. Because imagine if your body just said, you know what, I'm fed up, I'm not doing nothing today. Where are you going? You literally just have to stay put. So therefore it's saying, give thanks to the body, give thanks to the mind. Okay. So as I said, there's many diaries, activities in there. There's diaries in there and there's activities for you to do. There's motivational quotes to inspire and to motivate you. And also there's prayers. Now people say, why are you putting prayers in there? It's not for any particular faith group at all. It's just they're saying for any faith walk, the fundamental principle is love. No matter which denomination you follow, it's about love. And so the prayer is about a love prayer to you. The key thing also is that you're going to have your own party. Inside there, you're going to have your party because you've worked so hard. It's time to celebrate. So you have your party. I've given you a playlist of about 120 of my favorite tracks. It doesn't have to be yours, but you then create your own. And then I don't just want you to just have these play these tracks. I actually also want you to dress up. Go and have your own private fashion show. Go in your wardrobe and create your own signature look. Put on your shoes and dance. And this is your private party with your own fashion show at the same time. Have some fun. Life is for living. Live, laugh, and have a great life. And so the whole point is that the toolkit becomes its own being, and the being is you. Why? Because you're putting the content in to the toolkit. So every single toolkit is unique to the reader because you are putting in the information that needs to be put in here. And you can put in as much or as little as you like, because the only person you're cheating is, guess who? You. So Crush to Sparkle is really about a journey. And it's really about just finding out who I am a little bit more deeply, identifying who possibly could be stealing my energy, who am I giving away my power to? Because if you remember when I said to you earlier about looking in the mirror and maybe voices that you're hearing, why are you allowing people to trample on your beautiful, fertile mind with their dirty feet? Why are you letting these people walk all over your head? What's the value? What's the point? And some of these people might not even be around anymore, yet they still have the power to be controlling you. But you're the one giving them the permission to do this. Now you might say, okay, Julia, that's easy for you to say. I'm no exception to what I'm saying here. Yeah. The same battles and challenges that I'm talking about for you, I have them as well. Okay. But the whole objective, how I'm coming across to share with you, is to say, you still can keep on moving. You do not need to stand still. Now, somebody who I admire very much is Les Brown, and he's actually got a chapter in the Crush to Sparkle toolkit, which is about being unstuck. And he asks a question about where is the richest place on the planet? And when I usually ask this question, most people are just saying, oh, like Dubai, maybe South Africa, where there's gold, diamonds, precious metals, those must be the best places. And then I say, okay, think a little bit more. I've had some really good answers in terms of your mind. Yes, that's that is gold mind. Yes. And what Les Brown was actually saying was, it's the graveyard. And that has to do with the mind, because all these people have died with their dreams and goals and possible magical inventions dying with them. So he has another example, where he talks about you being on your deathbed. And when you're on your deathbed, you see all these faces you've never seen before, but they're all pointing at you and they're very angry with you. And you're thinking, well, who are you and why are you so angry with me? And they say to you, we are your goals, we are your dreams. And now you're dying, we have to die with you. You could have given us life, you could have birthed us, and now we have to die with you. You're selfish. And that was very, very powerful in terms of just saying, do not have a life full of regrets. He's saying, make sure you have a full life. Go out there and do all the things that you can possibly do. So when your time is come to the end, you can actually say, I done all these things. My life was full. Rather than you die with all of these dreams, all of these ambitions that you never materialize because of fear, because of doubt, because of limiting beliefs, because of what you think other people are going to think or say about you, you kept on playing your life really small. And now when it's coming to your last breaths, you're then now saying, oh, I wish I could have, if only coulda, shoulda, would have. Stop shoulding on yourself. The key thing here is to say, okay, I'm actually going to start doing things now. Whether it works or whether it doesn't work, that's irrelevant. The key thing is I've actually taken action to do something. Because right now what happens is that we're very much in a school of thought of talk, talk, talk. Talk is cheap. Everybody can talk and talk as much as they like. It's more about taking action. And action is the doing, and the doing takes work. And not everybody wants to put in that work. Most people may be comfortable, other people doing the work for them, and then they complain to say, well, my life is not going anywhere. But how can your life go anywhere if you're not being the director, the architect, the artist, and the creator of your own life? If you are allowing others to pull your strings, then they're going to pull you any direction that they feel comfortable, and it's not always going to be to your advantage. Okay, so it's really about you taking full ownership, full accountability, responsibility in order for your success to manifest. So, Crush to Sparkle, as I said, really is food for thought. And it's not only just food for thought, it's also about taking action, taking action. And when I'm saying this, this relates to people from all different walks of life, okay? Because young people are going through a lot of battles right now, and older people might not understand what they're going through and say, oh, you haven't got any problems, you haven't got any challenges, there's bills, there's this, there's that. But these young people have got their own challenges. And sometimes they are not heard, they're just spoken to. And as a result, this could be a reason why there's a lot of behavior, challenging behavior happening, simply because people's needs are not being met. And people are not being, you're not asking, well, how are you feeling? What's going on? You're saying, why did you do this? And you're telling and be very demanding is only just going to bring up more barriers. So the whole point, and this is more of the teacher trainer element coming out here, is to say when we're working with young people, it really is about giving them a clear, safe space to open up. Because a lot of young people, even though they may appear to be in a secure family, have got loads of challenges. Just like those who may not be in a secure family, they might be in foster care, they might be looked after environments. Young people today have got so many challenges, and it's really for us to really allow them to express themselves. Some of them don't know how to. So therefore their behavior is a cry for help, but it's usually seen as something negative because it's like, well, they're disrupting the class, they're just annoying. But maybe that's saying, please help me, but they just don't know how to say, please help me in a polite way. So it's about adapting and being observant in order to help meet the needs of each and every child, because anybody who goes into a caring environment or a teaching environment, your objective really is to meet each child's need. And yes, you might have a class of 30 plus, or if you're in private education, maybe you only got 6 or 7 children. But then you also need to understand that when you're working in an environment where you've only got 6 or 7 children, the level of progression is quite substantial because you're able to closely observe, monitor, and measure, put into place interventions very quickly in order for them to improve and grow further. When you have a class of 30 children, your intention and your heart is to help each and every one of them. But it's not as easy to meet every single one of their needs on a timely basis in order for them to feel that, yes, I'm being heard. That's why it's so crucial that where you are able to have teaching assistants or where you've got parents that come in to help, depending on the age group that we're focusing on, that schools should be welcoming these individuals because they're extra pair of eyes, extra pair of hands, and they're also an extra pair of minds that can come up with some more creative solutions to help to engage and make learning much more inclusive. We talk about inclusive learning. That can be questionable. That can be very questionable at times. But the objective is to work towards that, even if we haven't achieved that utopia yet, it's about working towards it. So if you don't mind, what I would just do is just give you a quick synopsis by just reading the back cover to give you an idea why you need to read this book, okay? And it says, no longer will you need to suffer in silence. No longer will you be invisible. No longer will you not be heard. Now you have a real opportunity to change your thinking and to change your life. This book was written personally for you. I heard your cry for help. I heard your need to find a new family member or a new trusted friend. I came because you called. I heard your voice. What you are holding right now in your hand is an invaluable resource tool. It is designed to change and transform your life from broken relationships to building more holistic, positive ones. This book is highly interactive, and I'll pause there because you will see when you read through it that I will be saying, okay, I know that you're upset. Breathe. Let me wipe your tears. I'll be rubbing you on your shoulder, tapping you on your back as we go through it. And I'll actually be walking side by side with you as we go through the chapters. And there will come a point where I will start walking even more slowly so that you will just keep on moving forward into your great, beautiful destiny. And that will bring me so much joy to just say, yes, well done, well done. You're definitely on your path to your greatness. So it is highly interactive and it is very much a self-help discovery toolkit, okay? The more that you want to look deeply into yourself, the more that you're going to get out of it. So the more you put in, the more you get out. It's that Boolean expression, input, process, output. Yeah, if you put nothing in, there's nothing to process, so nothing's going to come out. But if you put lots in, you can process a lot and a lot can come out on the other end. So it's about you just looking at yourself, and this is going beyond the iceberg. So right now, when you show up in the world, this is your tip of the iceberg's personality. But we're going to go down and see what's really happening. We're going core, we're doing a core root cause analysis. So we're going to go down, and that's as far as you want to go. I'm not here to push you. I'm just saying this is giving you an opportunity to explore yourself more. And I would also say that it's important that you have your own separate book, because I've only given you limited pages here to write, but there's going to be so much more that you want to get off your chest, literally. So have a dedicated Crush the Sparkle book journal alongside this journal. And I then go on to tell you that it's interactive self-help discovery toolkit, and it's this beautiful journey that we're going to be traveling through together. And at any point, you can just say, Julia, I don't need you anymore. And you can close the book. It's your life, it's your choice, it's your decision. Okay, but if you decide to keep on keeping on, then I'm going to keep on walking with you. So this is basically a new dawn, a new birth. of life to help you to be the best version of yourself or a better version of yourself. And it's all about keeping it real. There's minimal theory in this book. It's all about practical application and implementation. Okay. Not to say that there isn't any theoretical understanding inside it. There is, but I'm not blinding you with theory. I'm blinding you with your ability to say, I can do this. And this is blindingly obvious that I can do this. And this is the whole point. I want you to shine brilliantly. Okay, so I'm going to keep it very real, very honest, and I'm going to be very genuine as we go through. So, as I said, there is no theory, it's just practical suggestions and applications. So, if you choose to use it, I'm asking you to be very purposeful, intentional in terms of what you want to happen. Engage with it. It's a help guide. It's there to enable you, to empower you, and to support you to find out that you are truly an enlightened warrior king or an enlightened warrior queen. So what we're going to be doing, as I said, we're going to break down. So we're going to analyze who you are. Why are you here? What's your purpose? Then we're going to look about building up and to see what talents do you have? What are you good at? Why are you good at these things? How could we maybe transform them so you could actually be teaching and monetizing it so that you can have this additional income and you're enjoying what you're doing and you're helping other people in the process as well, so that you can be creating that life that you truly desire and deserve. Then we look at breakthrough. And this is where you know that you know you've got something that you can do. The question is, will you do it? Okay. There will be obstacles. There's no if, buts, or maybes. That's just the way life goes. However, you're going to have tools to help you get through it. And then break free. This is just saying, this is a new brand new version of myself. Okay. But understand this, as you transition to transform, not everybody's going to be happy with you. Some of the friends that you have, you may not have. And I'm not saying I've created a book to destroy families and to destroy friendships. But what I'm saying is that you will then find out who really is for you and who really isn't for you. Because at the end of the day, when you're looking to grow, if people around you are looking for you to stay still, are they really in your best interest? There is an analogy that is used, which is called a crab in the bucket mentality. And if you put crabs all into a bucket and one of them is trying to crawl out, all the other crabs are looking to bring this crab down. But imagine if this crab was able to get out. Now, this crab could then either get out and just keep on running and just say, well, I'm not going to help anybody. I got out, so that's fine. I've done it. Or you've got crabs that might say, you know what? I'm going to see if I can try and reach down, extend my arm to say, here, come, let me grab hold of you. And do you know that people could be doing that? And then those at the bottom are going to all look to try and pull that person all the way back down here, even though that person's intention up there was to help lift all of them up. Okay, it goes back to the situation of training an elephant, these circus elephants. Yeah. And it's about whereby the elephant is small and it's it wants to move around, but the circus master is saying, no, you stay put, and it keeps on beating it, till it conditions itself. I cannot move from here or else I'm going to feel pain. Now this baby elephant gets into this huge size elephant, and there's only this tiny little stake holding its foot in place. But the power of the pain from so many years has conditioned it now to stay put. Now imagine if one day it just says, oh, what? I could just tap this thing and it comes off the ground. But this is the power of conditioning. And this goes back also to the power of labeling. And when you're labeling people certain ways, you then start treating them according to the label. Again, in the teaching mode, when you're saying this is a disruptive child, this child is aggressive. And there's a very fine line between assertiveness and aggressiveness. And depending on certain races of children, they are usually deemed as being aggressive, aggressive, aggressive. Not necessarily. In certain cultures, they're very animated. So they'll use their body and they express themselves like this. Others might be very conservative and reserved. So if you've got a very conservative, reserved teacher, and then you've got a very animated student, there is a possibility to see that as being an aggressive type of character, because the other children seem to be reserved, whereas this one is just very outspoken, very open in their body language. So a lot to be desired in terms of developing relationships with teachers and pupils from different races. And a lot of newly qualified teachers may not have actually even integrated with certain other races before they even get into the classroom. So as a result, this already is causing a possible challenge simply because there is a clash of personalities, clash of culture, clash of identity, clash of language. So there's lots of barriers. And so one of the things that I'm very keen on is to coach newly qualified teachers and to really ask them about things like this, because this may not be happening in the teacher training. And even though the organization is talking about inclusivity, equality, diversity, when you're looking at the makeup of the team of staff, is EDI really prevalent? Is it even relevant? So the key point here is just to say, new teachers, I think it's very important that they have exposure to awareness of different races and how they can be very animated. Another thing that I've come across quite a lot in the educational background is the labeling. When you label a gang and you label youth, you have very different visual connotations about these two groups of people, okay? And how they should be treated, managed, or what interventions you're going to be putting into place. So I digress, but my point is to just say Crush the Sparkle works for young people. It also works for adults. For example, people who are feeling stuck, feeling lost, feeling confused, feeling actually, or who have actually been abused or used or misused. And they're just really feeling like they're nothing. They're not worthy. They're not lovable. They're not loved, and they're not loving. And it's saying, no, 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 no. But it's easy to say no, but what measures, what tools, what can you give me? How can you help me to see myself differently? And that's what Crush the Sparkle is about. It's about you looking at the wonderful, beautiful person that you are. You may not be feeling like that. You might not be looking like that, or you might not even be thinking like that. But in your hearts of hearts, you know that there are some beautiful things about you. They might be very small, but with a little bit more love, these things can grow and grow, and a new version of you can emerge. So I'm looking also to be helping women who have been abused, or girls who've been abused, or situations where people have just been hurt, to say, I might not know your story, but I do know what pain feels like. I've been publicly humiliated. I've been bullied. I've been harassed. I've been abused. You know, there's many different things that I have been through as well. And it's not about saying, let's take scores. Oh, you've only had 5 things wrong with you and I've got 6. So that means, no, 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 no. My point is that I'm coming from a lived and living experience in terms of when I'm looking to care, to share, to help, to uplift. So in that respect, this is where Crush the Sparkle can help. Also, people who are 40 plus are really in a situation where they may be having to look after their elderly relatives, okay? Hold down a job, look after the children, keep their significant other happy as well, and then have their own aspirations about what they would love to do. That's a lot of things to be juggling all at the same time. So Crush the Sparkle is saying, okay, you want to do all those things, great. But first, let's work on you. You cannot give from an empty cup, okay? If your cup is empty, you cannot serve or help anybody. So let's look about filling you up first. Now, some of you might say, that's being selfish. What about saying that's being self-full? That you're giving yourself some whole self-love and being so that you can actually be more positive, more effective and efficient to help other people. You see, I'm a carer. So one of the things that is very common with carers is that they spend a lot of time caring for everyone else apart from self. As a result, they may not be eating properly, sleeping properly, their dreams are put on hold. Everything and anyone is always more important than self. So it's not rocket science to figure out then why a lot of carers actually, some might even go before they even, the person that they're caring for. Because if you're not eating, if you're not sleeping, if you're not exercising, if you're not taking any real interest in yourself, and I mean that because sometimes carers not even literally not taking care of themselves. They might be in their night outfit all day long type of thing, depending even what time of day it is, it doesn't matter. They've just kind of just said, it's not about me, it's about the person. But don't you think that person also wants you to have a life as well? And then you have this thing about feeling that you're being guilty. You're guilty to thinking, well, if I think about me, that means I'm not thinking about them. That means I'm being selfish. But hold on a minute. That person has their life. You also have your life too. Okay. So what I'm saying is that start taking a little bit of that time, that quality, quiet time for you, that tender, loving time, care for you. It might just start off as half an hour. You might say, I don't even have half an hour. Okay, 15 minutes. Or I don't even have 15 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. You don't have 5 minutes to sit down and have a cup of coffee, tea, hot chocolate? Come on now, come on now. Okay, but what I'm saying to you is that for 24 hours, that's all we've got. The rich and the poor, whatever race you come from, it's only 24 hours. Yes, man does try to manipulate time during the year to say this is British summertime and all the rest of it. But the reality is you've got your 24 hours. It's a question of how are you going to spend that time? In an ideal world, you'd have 8 hours work, 8 hours sleep, 8 hours play. Yeah, ideally. But that's not how most people live their lives, okay? People might be getting by with 1 hour, 2 hours sleep and work. There's no play, it's just work. So it's about finding that balance again. And also the importance of drinking simple things like water. Not saying tea, coffee, water itself. And I would challenge you with this. Next time you do have a glass of water, and I wouldn't encourage you to take a cold bottle of water and drink it straight away. Try to drink things, drink things at room temperature. Because when you really think about it, you're shocking the body every time with something really ice cold. Yeah. And so then you're going to be wondering why later on there might be some health challenges. Well, if you've been keeping shocking me all the time, what do you expect me to do back to you? Yeah. So I'm not saying never drink a cold drink. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying be mindful of what you're drinking and when you're drinking it. And I would also encourage you, which you might or may not do this activity, but talk to the water. Huh? What did you say? Talk to water. Yeah. How about when you next, because some people don't like drinking water. They can drink anything else, but water is tasteless. Okay, fine. Yeah. Well, why don't you give it taste by giving it some new words that are sweet? Okay, so you can be saying when you're having your drink of water, I love me. I'm beautiful. I'm amazing. Thank you for life. And you'll be surprised how quickly that water's finished. But you filled that water with lots of love and good energy and beautiful things. So what do you think your body cells are saying? Oh, thanks, I like this, yeah? Rather than, and it's finished. And there was no thought, there was no intention, there was nothing given. So that's one little simple activity that you could do just to think about drinking more water. You might surprise yourself because you might be thinking, okay, next time I have another glass of water, I'm going to add some new affirmations or new intentions to it. And before you know it, from drinking half a medicine glass. Now you've got 5, 6, 7, 8 glasses of water you've had, and it wasn't difficult to do. So that's something that I would definitely encourage you just to give it a go. And the thing is, you don't have to be saying it out loud to the whole world as soon as you're sipping something. If you're in the kitchen by yourself quietly, just speak and sweeten that water you say is bland. Give it some sweetness. So really and truly, I really would encourage you to look into Crush the Sparkle, because if something's not working, how long are you just going to keep on saying it's not working? It's not working. And this is a resource that's readily available for you to take action. And it's just a small investment. It's not a cost, it's an investment in you. To just say, you know what, maybe I'm not ready to go for counseling, coaching, or any other kind of talking therapy sessions, but I am ready just maybe just to read a little bit and just do a little bit. I mean, nobody's monitoring me. In a way, that's a good thing, but at the same time, it's not so great because you'll just procrastinate to actually do something. And there is a chapter about procrastination in there, and also about letting go as well is in there to help you. And I've given you some magic keys to help you on your journey. And more importantly, as well, as I said, there is a prayer. Would it be okay to care to share 2 prayers? Okay. This prayer is from Psalm 23. I know I said it doesn't matter what faith you come from, but what I did is a very short psalm, but what I did is just to kind of summarize things. So this one is called The Lord is My Shepherd. So it says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. That's verse 1. That means you're not alone. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. That's saying rest. Be open to be guided to a better place. Verse 3, he restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. This is saying you are healthy, you are whole, and you are complete. Be open and listen to whatever faith walk that you follow. There is a Most High that has infinite source, infinite wisdom, infinite abundance available to you. Verse 4, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. What's that saying? Face your challenges. Be not afraid. There is a power beyond man that is with you. And that power will provide you with the resources that you need to get through. Because I mentioned about diamonds earlier, understand everything that you need in your life is already inside of you. It's a question of discovering or rediscovering, uncovering in order to live the life that you truly desire and deserve, because those desires that you have is unique to you. That's your callings. Verse 5, thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Yes, there will always be people who do not wish you well, okay? And even when you look at the good and the greats in terms of every faith walk, wasn't the people that took that person down, even though that person was looking to do good for everybody. So if the good and the greats are being taken down, why not you? So it's just saying, even though there are going to be people around you who's looking to suppress you, compress you, depress you, you need to understand that there is a higher being there for you too, okay? Whatever your denomination is, okay? And this power, energy, infinite source has prepared greatness within you, and it wants to manifest and experience that through only you, okay? So even though you may feel that you're alone, know that there is infinite energy power around you at all times, okay? So this is about saying, why don't you consider focusing on the positives, because it's so easy to focus on the negatives. I'm not good at this, I'm too slow at that, I'm this big to that, I'm too small, too tall, whatever it is. What if you could change your thinking and change your vocabulary? So instead of just keep on saying, oh, this is wrong, how about this is right? How about, what if the thing that I feared didn't even happen? What would my life look like? What would I be doing? Now, people say that's like you're faking it till you're making it. So that's not real, is it? But living in this perpetual fear, is that real? Has it happened? Or are you living in there looking to create it to happen, to then justify it, to say, look, it's happened now? So my point to you is simply this: focus on the positives as much as you can. I know there's going to be moments of negativity. We all face that at some time. But the question is, how long are you going to stay in your own pity party, victim mentality? How long are you going to be in that place and space? So I'm just saying, understand that you have the power to create your table, and you have the power to invite who you want as guests around that table. Okay. And instead of then you just having to take the crumbs off somebody else's table, you go and create your own. And maybe you've only got one or two people there initially as your guests, but these are quality people. And as you get older in life, you appreciate it's about the quality of the relationships and not the quantity of little fragile communications that you have. But when you're young, yes, 10 million likes and all the rest of it, that sounds great. So all I'm just saying is that Cross Vocal is for all ages. And then it goes on in still verse 5, it says, thou anointest my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. This again explains that you cannot work from an empty cup. You work from a place of overflow. And when you're in overflow, you can give so much more because you're full and you're fueled up, so you can help others. But if you're empty, you're more likely going to be giving out empty words, empty promises, empty, empty, empty. What value is that? And how are you serving anyone? Okay. So here it's saying the Most High will cleanse you with oil. And this is going to give you so much more abundance. Now, you might be saying, so far, this is all airy-fairy. For some of you, you might not believe that there is a creative power that made you. You might say it's all scientifically based or whatever your background is. I'm not here to judge or pass judgment upon you. However, what I'm just saying is, whatever you believe created you, then there must be some abundance in that thing too. Okay? In verse 6, it then says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. So this is just saying that the Lord is with you always and forever. Total protection over your life. Okay, so that was a prayer that, even though it has a denomination attached to it, it still can be interpreted and implemented in all different faith walks. And then I actually created a prayer just for you. Okay, and this is Juliyah's prayer for you. And it goes like this: as I say these words in faith, that you, the creator of all there is, will guide, nurture, support, and maintain and sustain me. Lord God, you know that I stumble, I fall, I do say unkind things, and I think unclean thoughts. Help bathe me from the inside out. My words are so limited to express and convey your illuminating magnificence. All I can say is thank you, thank you, thank you. I give you all thanks and praises to see through another day. Thank you for my health and my strength. Lord, teach me how to follow your ways, do right. Lord, show me what it is that you want me to do for you today. I am your humble servant. I love you, Lord. I need you, Lord. When others fail me, Lord, you are always there. In both the good times and the bad times, your love is unfailing. Lord, forgive me when I get angry with you, simply because it appears to me that even when I fast, I pray, I meditate, I give to charity, I do all these things, but my life doesn't seem to be shifting for the better. Lord, help me to have an attitude of gratitude whilst I am waiting for my moment. Help me to be patient and not to get angry over such little things. Help me show love and appreciation to myself and to others. Lord, help me to do something today, both anonymously and publicly for another, and not expect anything from them in return. Let me learn to practice what I preach about abundant mentality, as there is more than enough for each and every one of us. Mother of creation, thank you for our planet Earth and the universe. Help us to respect and work with nature and not rape and ravish nature. Mother of creation, help us to be at one with nature to see the rhythm and the dance of life. Let us work collaboratively. Let us cooperate to make the world a much better place. Let us heal the world. However, Mother of creation, we have to heal ourselves first. Help us to do this and for us to do this well. Heavenly parents, please heal us from the inside out. Bathe each cell within our body. Teach us how to love. Realign and set our internal frequencies and vibrations to ensure balance inside, so we can manifest balance on the outside. Lord, please soften our hardened hearts. Remove the scales from our eyes. Remove the veil off our tongues and reduce our egos. For in the grand scale of things, unity is in the word community. So let us build up one another and not destroy one another. Lord, help us to ask ourselves the question, what is the benefit in destruction? It will only cause perpetual pain and suffering. Let us heal. Let us work in balance. Let us work in peace. Let God's love show up and shine out in each and every one of us. Let us fulfill the greatest tenet of any faith-based person's walk, and that is to spread love. God, I release all my concerns into your loving care. I will wait on the Lord, of which is my everything, my all and all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen, amen, amen. Ashe, ashe, ashe. And then after I've done that prayer, I give you this final activity. Over to you. Now you create your own heartfelt prayer, and you write that on a separate card or a piece of paper, and you carry that with you daily to feed your mind, your body, and your soul.